guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So, we have a lot of new info correlating to Dokkan. I'm probably gonna put this video out relatively soon after I record this. I expect a Dokkan Twitter reveal tonight, by the way. Probably about 12 hours exactly from right now. So right now it's 11:13 a.m. Eastern for me. I think somewhere around that, like 10:45 to 11:45 range. We're going to see Twitter reveals tonight for the Dokkan Fest Kid Gohan. We're probably going to see Garlic Jr. And presumably we would get a data download tonight as well on JP Dokkan. So it's going to be busy. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on. We know about this free-to-play Piccolo. Again, Garlic Jr. as well as Kid Gohan. Now, this Piccolo, from his details, we're getting this right here, which is that there's a new category, which literally means heavenly event. So Gresh, theorizes this is gonna have to do with, stuff in the other world, such as training with King Kai, stuff like that. I've seen, a lot of people talking about the category, and a lot of people really don't understand. I mean, again, because it's, sort of dub changes, and just the way they, refer to things differently. But remember, in, the subbed version and the Japanese version, when they refer to the lookout, typically they talk about the heavenly realm, like that's it, the heavenly realm, right? So what the category is I believe it's just going to be fights taking place in one of these locations. So Kami's lookout, I think the Supreme Kai's planet as well, potentially hell. So Gogeta and Janemba, I think, could be on the heavenly event category as well. Now, that's where all of a sudden this category is now very intriguing, right? Because Janemba has been just criminally having no categories. So them making this category be a place where we could actually get Janemba onto a category, I think would be very good. So I've pulled up a number of characters. Again, dude, this is... We've played this game a million times before. We know how Dokkan gets with categories and shit. Even if it makes perfect sense, it sometimes, they have in their own heads, Dokkan does, what they're going to do with this, right? So it's difficult to say for sure. Now, Beerus, Whis, Blue Goku, Blue Vegeta, potentially. I would assume Beerus's planet would qualify as one of these, heavenly locations, but... I mean, are they going to put Beerus and Whis and stuff like that on there? I do not know, right? How would this correlate with a lot of the Dragon Ball Super stuff? Surely they're not going to count the World of Void as a heavenly event, right? Because then the entire, Universal Survival Saga gets added onto that category. And all of a sudden, presumably this Gohan is going to lead the new category. I mean, I guess we don't know that for sure, but, I mean, I feel like it's probably a fairly safe assumption, right? If this Gohan, had nearly the entire TOP to work with, he would be one of the better leaders in the game. We'll see. But I think this specifically would be, Beerus's, potential Blue Gokus, Blue Vegetas, and stuff like that are on Beerus's planet, I think is sort of how they're gonna, divvy this up. So, at one point in the manga, UI Goku spars with Whis on Beerus's planet, right? Potentially, maybe from that arc, we could get, a UI Goku or something like that who would be on this category, but it's very difficult to say for sure. Again, Dokkan, we know how they go. Now, Bojack, I am gonna say no on Bojack and his minions, but, I mean, remember, there's sort of that weird, funky thing where he was sealed away by, all the different Kais, right? And then, when King Kai dies, because Goku teleports Cell blowing up over there, Bojack is released. I don't think Bojack would end up on there, but he does have a vague, correlation to King Kai's planet, or King Kai dying, so, potentially Bojack, I don't think so, but maybe. Now... Demon King Piccolo is a real weird one, too, because, again, we see, Kami splits the evil out of him, it becomes Demon King Piccolo. Would any of the Demon King Piccolos end up on there? Probably not, but, again, Demon King Piccolo was sort of born in the heavenly realm on the lookout, on Kami's lookout, so, hard to say for sure. Now, Gogeta. So... this would be Dragon Ball Z Gogeta only, by the way, right? Because, I mean, Dragon Ball Super Gogeta, like, he's just, like, on Earth, right? Like, Piccolo is, training at some random location, and, like, he helps Goku and Vegeta fuse, and then they go beat Broly's ass. So this would be Dragon Ball Z Gogeta. So, if this is true, and, like, they're gonna count this as a heavenly event, that means Piccolo, Gogeta, and Janemba are all on the category, right? Which is really good for Dokkan Fest Piccolo, good for Gogeta units, right? Because, again, what is the theme Dokkan is the main overarching theme that Dokkan is pushing is movies, right? By them dropping this heavenly event category, if it includes Gogeta, Janemba, and Piccolo, they're massively buffing those types of characters, right? We just got a new Piccolo. I would say we're going to get an LR Janemba and an LR Super Gogeta as well, right? Probably sometime within the next year, right? Because, again, we're building up towards the 2022 Dragon Ball Super movie. Get used to hearing me talk about it, because it's very clear to me that a lot of what Dokkan's plans are right now, like, I'm sure Akatsuki, like whoever's designing the cards and stuff like that, they probably already have a vague idea of who, like, the main hero and villain are and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure they're in the know, right? So, like, we're going to see them continue to push this up. I do think Gogeta's going to end up on this category, Janemba and Piccolo, because that's a good way to sort of make these characters be a little bit more... I mean, fusion units are always busted, but this is a good way for them to actually help out Janemba a little bit. So I think that could be a very good thing, right? All right, so we have Gogeta on there. Now, Gohan... Okay, so none of these Gohans, I think, would be on here. Well, actually... I mean, Korin's Tower, is not the Heavenly Realm. They don't count Korin's Tower as a Heavenly Realm. That Gohan just travels to Korin's Tower to get Senzu Beans during the Cooler movie, right? That's what this Gohan is from the Cooler movie. None of these other Gohans would be on the category. The only Gohan characters I think will end up on this category are the new Dokkan Fest, right, who is a Gohan kid, and then also some of these, like the Kai outfit Gohans when he's training on there. So this could be good, because this means Tech Ultimate Gohan, the game has sucked him off to almost an absurd degree since he's come out. Like, people who have downplayed him just look like the biggest dummies in the world. Like, the way this guy keeps getting, like, amazing units who work well with him, Hybrid Saiyans just getting buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed. You know, like his team is crazy. He is a very relevant leader and a very good character right now, right? I think these two Gohans should also end up on the category. So I think there's probably going to be 4 Gohans on this category. These 3 right here, the Z-Sword sort of Gohans, the Tech, the STR, and the physical one, as well as the new Dokkan Fest Kid Gohan. Remember, because specifically, a heavenly event, it's the fights in these heavenly realms that are taking place, right? None of these other Gohans, I don't think, would qualify, right? So I don't think we'd expect to see any of the rest of them. Well, what about... I wonder if they're going to count, like, some of the hyperbolic time chamber type characters, right? So maybe, like, actually, maybe this Gohan, right here, could end up on the category. And, like, the Goku and Gohan unit, and then the Vegeta and Trunks units. Because they're kind of like, sort of like hyperbolic time chamber characters. Perhaps. I think it's possible. It's hard to say for sure, but I do think we could potentially see that Gohan added onto it. Now, as far as Goku goes, again, if they build this category as I'm describing it, this team is going to be good for quite a few characters. Now, Goku, honestly, Kid Goku trains with Kami. He literally goes from this moment, then he goes to Korin's Tower, right? Finds out about the Heavenly Realm. Then he goes to Master Roshi's to get the Power Pole, right? And then he heads up to, the Heavenly Realm. This Goku could qualify. They could definitely get him on here, which, I mean, he's on enough teams, but they're going to drop another Dokkan Fest Kid Goku eventually, and just another team for him definitely would be good. I think Kid Goku is a character who could end up on there. Some of these Kid Gokus. And then it gets real tricky, because, like, what about Goku training with King Kai, right? I mean, none of the Kaioken Gokus are actually, like, none of these are from like King Kai's planet, right? This is from Namek. This is fighting Lord Slug. This is fighting Vegeta. This one doesn't really exist anywhere. I mean, this is like Goku attacking Vegeta, but his super attack is from the times 20 Kaioken from Namek. So Kaioken Goku is kind of like almost a what if or something like that. Like he's just not really like from a direct moment, right? Because again, his art is from him attacking Vegeta, but then his super attack is from against Frieza. So, man. So then we get to this, right? Again, this Goku could end up on there, right? The hyperbolic time chamber Goku. I think all of the events on Supreme Kai's planet are going to be included. So I think the Goku and Vegeta, LR Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta, Kid Buu, right? I think all the Kid Buu units are going to be on there. All the characters participating in this final battle are going to be on there. I didn't pull them up, but you know who else would be on here? Potentially, the Exchange Hercule and Buu unit should end up on there right there as well. Again, we'll have the LR Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta, should definitely be on there, right? Some Super Saiyan 3 Gokus that would be on here, definitely, fighting Kid Buu. Again, Kid Buu himself should be on there. So it should be interesting. And then also, right, it gets very tricky to determine some of this stuff because, they fuse in the Heavenly Realm, the Supreme Kai's planet, right? Then don't forget there's this unit right here, which is all of the Kais. Don't forget that Buff Buu fights Supreme Kai in the Supreme Kai realm. So it's like they really could grab almost a random assortment of Majin Buu characters. There's a Fat Buu that participates in the Heavenly Realm. Bibbidi is up there. Again, Buff Buu fights all of the Kais. AGL West Kai could probably end up on there. This category actually could be fairly good. If they really do keep it consistent, which is just characters that fight in these heavenly realms, I think that this category could be pretty good, actually. And again, there will be a lot of, really powerful characters, right? Like, this Goku would be on there, right? We don't really have, a major... I don't think this Goku would be on there, right? Because this is just a Goku that's fighting Fat Buu. He's just fighting Fat Buu in the sky. I don't think he's actually going to be on this category, right? Many characters, like Angel Golden Frieza, I don't think is going to be on this category, right? Because he's not fighting in some heavenly realm or anything like that, right? They were just fighting at Baba's palace and then in, the World of Void. I think, a lot of these, godly characters like Gowasu and Zamasu, some forms of Zamasu could definitely end up on this category, because remember Goku fights Zamasu, on Gowasu's, Supreme Kai realm planet thing. Grand Supreme Kai, again, fights Buff Buu, so, he could end up on there as well as Buff Buu, and, they fight in Supreme Kai's realm. Janemba, dude, they have to. They have to. They've got to support this guy. All he's got is 3 categories. This would be a major buff for this guy. I don't know that he'd be that good on this heavenly event category, honestly. But if him and Kid Buu make it, right? They'd share a couple links. They've got Brutal Beatdown. They have Big Bad Bosses. They have Fierce Battle. Does Kid Buu have Metamorphosis? He doesn't, right? He does not. Okay. But they still would share a few links. So, if there could be some Kid Buu that might give, Key or something like that, LR Kid Buu in the future, that could be good. But Janemba should end up on there. Kami should end up on there for sure, right? Because, it's his lookout for a lot of the series. Don't forget, he does actually fight Garlic Jr. both in the arc and in the movie. He fights Garlic Jr. In the movie, they fight at Garlic Jr.'s palace, so it's not really in the heavenly realm. But in the arc, Kami, he doesn't fight that much, but he does fight in the heavenly realm. So Kami should end up in there. These characters I would think would end up in there because again they're participating in the heavenly realm places all the time. Yep, Kibito Kai as well. I do expect him to be on there. But one other thing I already clicked off, but Kibito Kai in Dragon Ball GT, Kibito Kai goes to the heavenly realm and gets the sacred water to free everyone from Baby's possession. So it starts to mix a lot of stuff that does not fit. Like, the Garlic Jr. movie does not fit in the timeline, but then the arc, is a sequel basically to the Garlic Jr. movie, right? Which introduces the sacred water, and then they utilize the sacred water as part of the plot in the Baby Saga, right? So, keep all those things in mind. Krillin. Now, I assume we're gonna get another new Krillin, suit Krillin. Here, let me pull him up. But this character is not in Dokkan. I mean, if we're gonna do this Garlic Jr. arc and shit like that, I assume we're going to see this guy actually show up right here. This Krillin. Because all of his fighting... Do we have any... Nothing? Nothing? Hold on. Let me just show... Because, like his fights against Garlic Jr., like, his outfit is, like, destroyed and stuff like that, right? So it's like... I can't pull up a pic. That's fine. If I can't pull one up. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So see, like his outfit is, like, destroyed and stuff like that. Like, the teaser they showed us for Gohan is, like, literally from this moment right here, right? So, like, we really could see this Krillin, like, this as, like, a new card introduced, and he would be on the Heavenly event. I don't think any of these other Krillins would be. If they ever gave us... So there's filler in the Buu saga where Kid Buu goes to Grand Kai's planet. So, like, all those characters... Actually, Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku potentially could be. The whole Otherworld tournament, which takes place on Grand Kai's planet, right? That all could count. So every single Piccon could end up on here, not just the movie hero one, right? Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku could end up on here. All those characters that would be on there could count. I don't know if they're going to specifically count Hell, though. I guess if they count Janemba, then that means, like, Angel, Cell, and the Dragon Ball Z Angel Frieza characters probably will count as well. Again, it's just so tough, man. There's so many variables, like... Are they counting Hell as one of these heavenly events and stuff like that? It's hard, but I expect we will see that Krillin with the suit show up. Again, many forms of Buu are fighting god characters. For sure, Kid Buu and Buff Buu should be on this, because Kid Buu and Buff Buu are the ones who massacre all of the original Supreme Kais of Universe 7, right? So they should be on there. Again, this is good for a future theoretical Kid Buu, by the way. One more category for Kid Buu is not going to hurt whatsoever. Again, all Piccons should end up on there, both from the Otherworld Tournament arc as well as the movie hero one. This is good, too. Supporting Piccon is a really, really good thing that they do need to do. And this would be good. Piccon could be fairly useful on this team if you run just a super class build of Heavenly Event. Piccon definitely could be fairly good on there, depending upon if there's, like, another orb changer and stuff like that. So Piccon could be fairly useful. Another category for him, definitely not a bad thing. Now, Piccolo. So, the only Piccolos... This guy... Okay. Here's the Piccolos that potentially could qualify for the Heavenly event. Obviously, we know that this new Piccolo right here, right? Who I presume is the one fighting Garlic Jr. In the story arc, right? This Piccolo, when he fuses with Kami, it's in the Heavenly Realm. So potentially they would then add them to the category, which would be good. Because with the same name update, you could run the support free-to-play Piccolo and this guy together. And they probably would work really well after this guy could transform. That could probably be a nice little combo that would work on the team. So that would be super good. And then, again, this guy... Wait, no, not Sealess. This guy right here... Did I not pull him up? Thought I did. But this guy right here... he is revived directly from King Kai's planet. Shows up, fuses with Nail, then fights Frieza. He potentially could get added to it. We will see, but it's possible. Now, dude... I have no idea what they're going to do with some of these Dragon Ball Super characters. Because Sealess... Does he not battle in the Supreme Kai of Time? Like the where is it? Like the Time Egg or the Time Nest or some shit like that, right? Like I don't know. Like a lot of these Dragon Ball Hero characters are fighting in these types of places. I would assume they're probably not going to put a lot of Dragon Ball Heroes characters on here, but I mean, it's hard to say for sure, right? All the Supreme Kais should end up on there. Topo probably not, but Topo with his God of Destruction energy definitely was training with Belmont or Vermoth, so maybe he would end up on there. I do think like Beerus, Whis, Vados, Champa probably all should be on there, but I mean we would see because I mean Vados and Whis, like when they're actually sort of like doing any sort of fighting or anything, it's just training, which is typically taking place on like Beerus's planet and stuff like that. So I don't know. We would see. Maybe. We talked about Whis. Now Vegeta, right? So any time chamber Vegeta, like the hyperbolic time chamber, could end up on here. Again, that sort of theorized that, right? But then specifically the Vegetas that fight at the end of the Buu saga, that fight Kid Buu. So like this guy right here, they probably would count this guy right here and this guy. These two probably would count as well, right? Just the Vegetas that fought Kid Buu on the planet, right? So this guy would count as well. Oh. Let me not forget Spirit Bomb Goku, by the way. Easy. Okay, so like this guy should be on the Heavenly Event category. And then, of course, let me not forget about these two right here. This guy and then also this guy should be on the category as well, right? This is obviously really good. This unit is a monster. And then, you know, this guy and Vegeta, potentially they could easy A during this celebration. Who knows, right? West Supreme Kai, we already talked about, and we talked about Zamasu. So let me know what you guys think, what you make of this category. Again, dude, these categories, it is very difficult to really tell sometimes what Dokkan is doing or what they're thinking, right? You can't always just go like, oh, it's definitely this or it's definitely that. It's like Dokkan with these categories, they aren't very consistent. So we just don't really have any idea with what it's going to look like. But very clearly to me, it's looking like Garlic Jr. is going to be on there. Kid Gohan is going to be on there. Characters that fought in Heavenly Realms are going to be on there. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.